Good morning and welcome to Thursday's Maths. Today we're going to be looking at finding the change. Okay, so first of all, let's have a look at a couple of these examples. So here we can see we've got an ice lolly for 3 pence and we've paid for it with a 10 pence coin. So what we need to know is how much change you're going to get, because if it's worth 3 pence, you don't want to give them 10 pence and then not have your change back, because some of that money is yours. So let's have a look at it in terms of a bar model so we know what we're talking about. So the altogether number is 10 pence because that's the amount that we're giving and that's the amount we need to make it up to. We know we've spent 3 pence. Now there are a few ways you could do this. You could count from 3 up to 10 and find out what this missing amount is. You could use your knowledge of number bonds to 10 to tell you. You should know what goes with 3 to make 10. Or if you're really stuck, you could count out or draw 10 pennies. Lost count now. 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, there's my 10 pennies, and then you can get rid of 3 of them because those are the 3 that you've bought the ice lolly with. And then you can see how many you've got left, and that will tell you the missing number for here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pence change. And you should know 3 and 7 makes 10. 7 and 3 makes 10. And 10 take away 7 is 3. And 10 take away 3 is 7. Because we know those things, because we are amazing. Okay, let's have a look at this next one. We've got this, I think it's a mat. Looks like one of those twister mats. Maybe it's a little rug or a carpet. And that is 5 pence. And we are giving the shopkeeper 20 pence. So which number am I going to put in the top? I'm going to put the altogether number, and altogether I have 20 pence. I have spent 5 pence. So I need quite a lot of change. Now again, you could start at 5 and you could jump up to 20. You could use your number bonds to 20, which I'm sure most of you know. If you really need to, you could draw them out. But I know that I would need another 5 to make it to 10p, and then another 10p to make it up to 20p. And 10p plus 5p is 15p. 15 and 5 make 20. So today, if you are in Strawberry's group and Peaches, have a look and see what you think. You can have a go at this sheet here. You've got what you're buying and how much it is. And then you've got the coins that you've paid for with it. So you're going to have to do a little bit of adding here. Actually, I will let you into a little secret. You're spending 10 pence each time. So you're spending 10 pence each time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you spent 8 and you've given a 10p coin, so how much change are you going to get? If you need to, you can draw out your 10, get rid of 8 and see how many you've got left. And that's your worksheet for today. However, as always, it will be beneficial for you to stay on and watch the video, and then Peaches, you can have a look at both types of worksheets and decide which one you would like to have a go at today. Right then, let's go across to White Rose and have a look.
Hello there. We're finding change today. But first, can you mark these correct or incorrect? You might not need to do the calculation yourself. You might just be able to notice something about the calculation. Pause the video to have a go.
Have a little think about your inverse here, folks. That will help you.
How did you get on? 70 minus 45 can't be 45. I know that because 45 plus 45 doesn't equal 70. 45 plus 45 equals 90. A bit like the minutes in a football match. 45 minutes plus 45 minutes is 90 minutes. 45 minus 41 can't be 0. Because to be 0, it would have to be 45 minus 45. And also, we know that 5 minus 1 is equal to 4, not 0. 95 minus 65 is 30. Yes, that's correct. And I can think about that just using the tens, because the ones are the same. 90 minus 60 is equal to 30. So therefore 95 minus 65 must also be equal to 30. 50 minus 15 is equal to 45. No, I know that 50 minus 5 is equal to 45. So 50 minus 15 can't be equal to 45. Here's Dora and her money box. Dora empties her money box. Oh, she's got lots of coins. She spends 32 pence. I wonder which coins she's going to use. Ah, a 20 pence, a 10 pence and a 2 pence. She has a 50 pence, a 10 pence and a 20 pence left over. So altogether, she's got 50, 60, 70, 80 pence remaining. Dora goes to the charity shop with her 80 pence. She'd like to buy this fan, which is 20 pence. She gives the shopkeeper the 20 and the 10 pence, 30 pence altogether. The shopkeeper thinks for a minute and then says, "I need to give you some change." He gives her the 10 pence back as change. The calculation he's done is 30 pence, subtract 20 for the van, is equal to 10. 10 pence change. It's quite good fun when playing shopkeepers to give a bit too much money and then let the shopkeeper give you some change. Oh, Dora has a 50 pence and a 10 pence left, and she sees 5 candles for 5 pence. She'd like to buy them. She gives the shopkeeper her 10 pence. Pause the video and have a think. What's the calculation that the shopkeeper is doing?
Okay, have a little think. The shopkeeper has just been given 10 pence and Dora wants to buy the candles for 5 pence.
He's thinking, I've got 10 pence and I need to subtract 5 pence for the candles, which leaves 5 pence. So her change must be 5 pence. And we can check that because 2 5 pences are equal to 10 pence. It's your turn now. Have a go at question 1 and 2 on the worksheet.
Okie dokie, let's have a little look. Right then, here we go. Dora has this money. Oh, she's got loads of money there. She must have raided her entire piggy bank. She spends 45 pence. How much change does Dora get? Now, I think the easiest way of doing this one is seeing if you could cross out the 45 pence that Dora has spent. And when you've got rid of that 45 pence, you'll be able to count and see how much money she has got left over, and that will be her change. Okay, Tommy has this money. He spends 41 pence. How much change does Tommy get? So he's got this much money all together. He spends this much money. You can try and cross this amount out on the coins, but you will have to split one of the coins up. I think you should split this one up into 5 pennies. And then you should be able to work out how much money change Tommy gets.
Dora has 50 pence left. Are you going to take that home, Dora, and put it into your money box? No, you've spotted a cake. Aha. The cake costs 41 pence. Can Dora afford to buy the cake? Yes, she can. She gives the shopkeeper her money, and the calculation the shopkeeper does to find out her change is 50 pence, subtract 41 pence. The first thing the shopkeeper does is exchange Dora's 50 pence for 5 10 pences. He then puts 40 pence into the till. He needs to put 1 more pence into the till, but he can't do that with the 10 pence. So again, he exchanges 10 pence for 10 1 pences. He now puts 1 of those 1 pences into the till, and what's left is Dora's change, 9 pence. What's that, Tiny? Wouldn't it be easier to count on? Well, yes, I suppose it would. That's a good idea, Tiny. Can you show us? Starting at 41 and counting on 9 up to 50. That's a really good way of finding the difference. It's your turn. Are you going to count on, or are you going to use a formal method? Have a look at question 3 on the worksheet.
Okay, so if you want to count on to find the difference, it's quite easy to do it with numbers that are closer together. So let's have a look at question 3 and you can decide how you want to do it. Here we go. Alex has this money. She spends 67p. How much change does Alex get? So you can either try and take away 67p, but you'll have to exchange some of these coins for smaller coins so that you can do that. So that's one way you might want to do it. Or you might want to count on from 67 up to this amount here and find out how many steps you had to take to get up to this amount. This is our altogether number here. So have a think about how you would like to do that one. Don't worry if you find the number line tricky, because we're going to do lots of finding the difference next week using number lines. Okay, when you've had a go at that one, come back to the video.
Here's Amir. He would like to buy these crayons. He has 20 pence. Can he afford to buy the crayons? Yes, he can. But which of these calculations is going to help him work out how much change he will receive? Pause the video here to have a think.
Okay, have a little think, have a careful look at them, think about what we know, think about what we're doing.
The amount of money that Amir has is going to reduce. So the calculation isn't going to be an addition. He's not going to add 7. So it can't be 20 plus 7 or 7 plus 20. Amir is starting with 20 pence. That's his whole. And then he's going to reduce by 7 pence. So it can't be 7 minus 20, because he's not starting with 7 pence and reducing by 20. He's starting with 20 and reducing by 7. Amir this time wants to buy a hat for £4 and he's got a £10 note.
Can I just bring you back to
Pence
this
and reducing by 20.
20 and 7, and we want to know what goes with 7 to make 20. Number bonds to 20, and the next one I have a feeling could be number bonds to 10.
Amir this time wants to buy a hat for £4 and he's got a £10 note. Which of these calculations is going to help him work out his change? Pause the video here to have a go.
Okay, think about how much he's starting with, think about what's the altogether number.
That's right. £10 subtract £4 will give him his change. He's not got £4 and subtracting £10. So it's this one. Well done. It's your turn now. Have a go at questions 4 and 5 on the worksheet.
Okie dokie, back to the worksheet. Okay. Anisha buys a lollipop for 15 pence. She pays with a 50p coin. How can we work out the change? Circle the calculation. So first of all, think about which money she's going to give to the shopkeeper. She wants to buy a lollipop for 15 pence and she pays with a 50p coin. So which coin is she going to give to the shopkeeper? Once you know that, you're going to know how much we need to, is it add or take away? Hope you're watching in the video. And then you should know which way around it goes. So have a little think about that one. And then it says put a circle around the calculation that you think shows the correct working. Okay, question 5. Annie buys this book. She pays with a £10 note. How much change does Annie get? So you could do 10, take away 6. You could do 6 and count on to get to 10. Or you could go, Miss Jones, I don't need to do any of that. I know my number bonds to 10. Okay. Right, just get this bigger so it's ready, and then we're going to head back to the video.
Amir has £6 and 13 pence. He'd like to buy this bear for £5. What will Amir's calculation be to calculate how much change he will receive? Pause the video to have a think. That's right. His first calculation will be £6 minus £5. It's tricky, isn't it? Because Amir's not got a £5 note or 5 £1 coins. He's got 3 £2 coins. Why don't we exchange these 3 £2 coins for 6 £1 coins? Now we can subtract 5 of them, which leaves Amir with £1 and 13 pence. He didn't even touch his 13 pence. That was because he had £6 and the bear he was buying cost £5. So he just subtracted the pounds. Rosie, Alex and Mo each have a £1 coin. They're spending different amounts. Pause the video and have a think. How much change will each of them receive? Oh, Mo says, I will get the most change because I'm spending the least money. Is he correct? Let's see. So Rosie first. She has £1 and she spends 50 pence. Well, we know that 2 50 pences can be exchanged for £1. Therefore, if Rosie starts with £1 and spends 50 pence, she will receive 50 pence change. Let's have a look at Alex. She's not spending 50 pence. She's spending 5 pence less than 50 pence. Therefore, she will receive 5 pence more in change. So she will receive 50 pence, just like Rosie, and another 5 pence. 55 pence altogether. What about Mo? He's spending 2 pence less than Alex. So therefore he should receive 2 pence more in change. 57 pence. He was right. It's your turn again. Have a go at the rest of the questions on the worksheet and look out for question 9. It's really tricky and it might be useful to get some coins of your own that you can move around and exchange.
Right then. Let's go back to the flip. Okay, so Dexter buys these sweets. He gives the shopkeeper £1 and 83 pence. How much change does he get? So we're going to be looking at the pence in this one. We don't really need to think about the pounds because I can see he's got enough pence to be able to buy it. So he's only going to have to give this part here. So you're looking for, here's our 83 pence that we're going to give. Here's our 70 pence that we've spent, and you need to work out what goes in here. Let's just make our 7 a little bit more obvious. 70p plus something equals 83p. Once you've done that, you can add the amount you've got left over in here, but then don't forget you've got to put something in here as well. Right, question 7. Whitney, Jack and Amir each have £1. Whitney buys a bottle of water for 70p. How much change does Whitney get? Well, if you know your number bonds to 100, you should be able to tell me how much change there is there. Jack buys a box of raisins for 67p. How much change does Jack get? Okay, so what we're doing is 100 take away 67. Okay. What you might want to do is count on. We're going to look at efficient ways of counting on next week. But for now, if we start at 67, we know that if we jump 1, 2, 3, we can have 67, 68, 69, and then I've got to 70. Okay, now I just need to count on. So these were add ones, add 1, add 1, add 1. I've got up to 70p. I need to get up to 100. So I'm going to jump in tens now because I don't want to go 71, 72, 70 because that would just take forever and I'll probably make mistakes. So I'm going to jump in tens up to 100, 70, 80, 90, 100. And I've got to remember to put plus 10 on the top of these. Then if I count my jumps, how many jumps I've made, I can find out the change. But it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because this jump was worth 10, and this jump was worth 10, and this jump was worth 10. So think about your change as being a 10p, a 10p, a 10p, a 1p, a 1p, a 1p, and see how you get on. You can do the same thing with Amir's. He's quite close to 100, so that might be quite easy to count on to 100 because he's at 91 pence and he's got to get up to 100. So you should be able to think about your bonds of 10 helping you with that one as well. Because if you think about 1, how many more do you need to get up to 10? And if you're at 91, how many more do you need to get up to 100? So have a little think. Today it's using whichever method works for you. Right, question 8. One more before we get to the hard one. I paid for a drink using 1 coin and I got £2 and 19p change. Eva is wrong. How do we know? So she's used 1 coin and she's got £2 and 19 pence change. You're going to have a really, really good think about that one. Uh-oh, on to the hard one. Rosie and Tom buy some of these items. Oh, here we go. Here's the shop. Got 9p for a sweet, 48p for a bar of chocolate, 25p for a pear, 35p for a bottle of water. Rosie has a 50p coin. Okay, she's got 50p. She buys 1 item. Rosie's change is all in silver coins and one of them is a 20p. What did Rosie buy? How do you know? Okay, for this one, you're going to have to think about which coins are silver. We know a 5p is silver, a 10p is silver, a 20p is silver, and a 50p is silver. Now, it can't be a 50p because we know that Rosie has a 50p coin, and we know that she's getting change, and we know that one of the coins is over 20p, or the amount that change she's got is over 20p. So I want you to think about what we know about multiples of 5 and what they end in, and see if there's any that end in a multiple of 5, and then work out the change. Once you've worked out the change for those, see which one you would need a 20p piece for, and that will be your answer. Tom has £1. What items could he buy? So I want you to do some adding here. See how many he could buy. Could he buy them all? Could he buy 3 of them? You know, he doesn't want very much change. He wants to spend quite a lot of money. So how much money could he spend? And you would have lots of different answers for this, but you can just choose one, or you can do as many answers as you like. Okay, there is a challenge for today as well. If you haven't had enough to do today, this is a challenge which I'm going to put up as a worksheet for you. And what you do, you buy something, here's how much you've spent, this is what you've paid with, this is your change. So you've got to work out that plus that, does it make that? And you've got to see if the shopkeeper has made a mistake. If they've made a mistake, you need to put a cross here, and you need to put the correct change that he should have given. If it's right, you can just tick it. So that's just an extra if you would like to do it, and I'll make sure that that is uploaded onto the website. So that is it for your maths for today. It's quite a tricky one. Don't panic too much. We're doing one day on it this week. We're doing lots of work on it next week. So we will become experts. All right then, have a good maths session.